Okay, everybody, here we go. We're going to make a penny stove, and this is one of those stoves that you can make for less than $1. If you are if you're in hard times, you don't have your stove's not working, no propane, no gas, no electric. You need to cook a meal. This is a stove that you can make to cook a meal with. Now, I want to show you some things that's possible. You mess it up if you ain't careful. You don't really have to have one of these. I've actually used a utility knife over here. It does the same thing, what I'm going to show you about the Dremel. But you're going to need some little tools for the Dremel. You're also going to need some needle nose pliers. And for some of you, they want to be real careful because you don't want to cut yourself with this grinding wheel here. Because it will cut you, and it'll cut you deep if you ain't careful. You might want to use a pair of leather gloves. I don't normally use them because I've done this enough to not to get cut. I try to be as cautious, but anything's possible anyway. Also, you're going to need some safety glasses because this will throw a little bit of metal out as you begin to cut through the metal can. I want to show you this because if you have any old Coke cans, whatever you have laying around the house, might be Coke cans, any kind of old cans you find, as long as they're whole and decent, you can use the cans, and I'm going to show you how to make this penny stove, okay? Alright, here we go. One of the things I want to show you to help you understand too, as you're cutting these, you can see here where I've gotten it off. You just got to be careful that you don't get it off. You need to get someplace that's settled to where you can get a good complete round turn with it. And in fact, a utility knife is the best thing to use because you're able to turn your can up sideways like that, and then use your utility knife running this way and actually turn your can like so, if you can see, and hold that utility knife and turn it a few times, and it will cut that can. In fact, go get me one of those utility knives, son, if you don't mind. I want to demonstrate this. But while he's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start my Dremel. I'm going to put it on about midways. Let's put on our safety goggles because this does throw out some metal here. And hopefully we'll get this done. And I'll show you how, and once I get it finished getting it cut, we're going to come back. You need to be able to hold this stabilized in the right place so that you get your distance on your can, which is going to be about right there, okay? And that's where I'm going to start cutting at. Here we go. I was able then to follow my line with the utility knife. Make sure you close those things. You don't want to cut yourself. Now, as you can see, we got two pieces of aluminum can. They're cut just about the same. And so that's what you need. It ain't got to be perfect, so, but that's about how deep your stove is going to be. It's about like that right there. And so what we want to do is we want to take one bottom half, and I'm going to find the roughest bottom half, which will probably be this one right here. And I'm going to start to crimp this like you would, you ever seen those black stove pipes, the little black stove, or for wood stove, you got little black stove pipes that go on top of that with 8-inch, 6-inch or 8-inch. And at the ends of those stove pipes, they got little crinks that are always at the, at the top of them, so that one pipe would fit in the end of the other pipe. So that's what we're trying to accomplish here with the little aluminum cans. We want to try to fit it in to the one in the top. This is going to be your bottom piece. The piece that you crimp is going to be your bottom. And so we're going to work our way all around this. And when I get this done, I'm going to come back, I'm going to show you you know how it's going to work. Okay, we got this bottom part crimped. I don't know if it's going to be crimped enough. If not, we'll crimp it a little more. What I do want to do is I want to come back like your little metal shavings. You can sometimes notice there's a little bit of metal on the edges here. I like to take those and I like to grind them down a little bit. You know, you can use a little edge grinder, something similar to that. We'll kind of get off them metal pieces, and that way you don't get this out of here. Just going to do, I'll just give it a little bit of something like this. Knock off those metal edges, you know, because you don't want to cut yourself. And also it helps to kind of bevel out that inside a little bit too, so that it'll fit over the other part of your can. That's what we want to happen there. Again, like I say, these are very simple to make. Doesn't cost $1 really. If you think about it, you buy a case of Cokes, you know, whatever your beverage of choice is, you buy you a case of beverages, and once you've done that, just take and you know, the cans that are left over, and you can make you a little penny stove like this here. Now, if you notice how this is gonna, hopefully this is gonna fit. I may have to take and bevel this end. Just crimp these ends a little more. There we go. And that's it. It's starting to fit over the end of that. Once it's over, hopefully we didn't split our can. I don't think we did. Tap that in place. Just like that. And there you have your little penny stove. Alright, now the next thing we need to do is we're going to have to drill holes in the top up here. Okay folks, what I want to show you is after we've got this here made, I want you if you can kind of get a look at this here. I don't know if you can kind of see around the rim here. What has happened is your can the top part got a little longer, and so you got a little space here that can actually cut you if you're not careful. See if I can kind of turn that to where you can kind of see it here. There's a little beveled edge, well, not beveled, but there's a little edge there, and that can be a little dangerous. So what I'm going to do to help with that is we're going to take our Dremel, and we're going to actually just go ahead and kind of get that, you know, kind of grind that down a little bit. That way, turn this down some, and get that ground down somewhat so it don't cut nobody when you pick the stove up. Right. Okay, we got that done. Pretty much that there's helped a lot. If it's still not enough for you, you could probably take a little bit of sandpaper and sand those ends down, you know what I'm saying? Something similar to that. That way it'll help keep you from getting cut. And believe you me, it may not be a deep cut, but these cuts can be very, very sore after 2 or 3 days. And especially if you get them in the wrong place, like that there on the top of your knuckle, if you can see. That was from a meat saw cleaning a deer. Wasn't a bad cut, but it sure got sore. And if you're diabetic like me, it's just a good idea to try to keep from getting cut. Your body don't heal as well as it used to. Alright, okay, not going to fit in the Dremel, so I got me a cordless drill. Alright, now most of the time I can just use that Dremel for a lot of stuff, but I'm going to take this here, put it in my little cordless drill. We need to drill some holes, okay? And so where we're going to drill holes is going to be on the outside edge of this can here. That's where we're going to drill our holes, and you want to put one probably, I'd say maybe every inch or so. We're going to put a hole. And you don't want to press down too hard because you don't want to dent your can. But anyways, here we go. Just want to get you a nice hole in there, just like that, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that, but you want to put your little hole in there. Go about another inch away from there, and I'd say about from an inch, put you another hole. And want to work your way around like that. Because this here, out of these holes is where your flames are going to come from. And it's going to end up looking and being just like, it'll end up being just like a regular little propane stove with your flames coming out. If you look at that, that there, kind of see. So now we got our holes in our cans. Now next thing we want to do, we'll take and drill about 5 holes. And so I'm going to drill right here in the center of the can. Drill 1 hole there. And I'm going to put, it's going to look like actually a dice almost. I'm going to put 4 more holes around the outside of that one. But you don't want to spread them too far apart. You do want to have them to where a penny can cover all 5 of these little holes, okay? Alright, now, as you can see, I've got 5 little holes there, and a penny should be able to fit right inside there. Alright, as y'all can see, there's a penny. I got a penny right here. It's actually called a penny stove. But you take that penny, once you put your fluid in there, and that penny is going to cover those holes, because you don't want flames coming out of them holes there. Now, I'm going to put this on my book here. So I got another book I wrote back in 2005, and it's just really some good information. Info News was a little booklet that I had back then that taught you how to make methane fuel for your car, how to make ethanol for various things, you know, teach you how to make a steel. In here, it's a pretty good little old book. If anybody would like to have a copy of this, I can let it go for $10 for all the information that's in there. Got quite a few pages. All that basically does is cover my cost. It cost me about $5 to get the book printed and put together. So you know, I'm not really making nothing on it. By the time I get it sent out, I make about $5 on the information. All right, I'm gonna set my little stove on top of there, and what I have got now, let me show you, is this this isopropyl alcohol. Now, I normally like to use HEET, H-E-E-T. You can find it generally at your automotive stores. You put it in your fuel tank to eliminate all of the water that's in the gas. Well, this here is basically, I bought this at the Walmarts. You can probably pick this up too at the dollar store. Very cheap, very efficient fuel. 91% alcohol though. I would suggest not to go with the 75 or the 50% because neither one of them burn as efficient. And also, one of the things I've noticed is that the lower grade alcohol has a bad smell to it. It leaves a bad odor when you're burning it. But this here you can burn inside, you know, inside door or indoors if you had to, and not have a bad fumes or bad odors from it. Okay, so basically all you're going to do is take this here, you know, you got your penny stove together, and take and put your fuel in it. Well, hallelujah. There we go. I'm about to pour. Good thing alcohol dries up real good. What you do after you put your fuel in here, you want to try to bring your fuel level up almost to your little holes in the center there. And then you light that, and once it's lit, you'll sit there and watch it burn. Your flames will eventually jump over here to each one of these, and you'll have a flame going. And then you take and put your penny in the center so you don't have no flames coming out of the center of that. It just ends up being on the top. Okay, everybody, what I've done here is I use a shield, this little Rubbermaid tub here, one of those totes. I've also got you know, some metal inside my here so I can snuff out the fire if I need to. So I mean, if it's an emergency or something, you need to snuff out that fire, you got something put on it. Now, another thing I've done, I don't know if you can tell, but right there you can see I filled this up with alcohol to cover the little holes the penny goes over. Now we're just going to light it, and you probably can't really see, you probably see a little bit there. Yeah. Anyways, what we're going to do, this fire will eventually work its way to the outside edge once this fuel heats up. And as the fuel heats up, it's going to give a better, you know, a better flame, and it'll eventually look like a stove. As you see, as it starts to come out them little holes, it gives you like a burner, and you end up getting a little cook stove. This is very light, very cheap to make. You make it less than $1. But you can see how this here is going to make a good burning, a good cook stove. You can do whatever you need to do. Make a soup, you know, cook a stew or whatever you need to do. Very efficient little stove, and each one you can put on a burner there. Don't cost you very much at all. Until next time, this is Gary Jones signing off for Willis Knows Best. Thank y'all for watching.